Hello everyone, and today we're going to talk about why I, in the words of someone who sent me a message, abandoned the Nintendo Switch. And abandoned, someone else sent me a message, not saying abandoned, betrayed AMD. We abandoned the Nintendo Switch, and we betrayed AMD to, of course, buy a Nvidia card. I should point out, though, that in buying a Switch, we were buying an Nvidia product. So basically I had a choice between two Nvidia products. Of course it uses a Nvidia Tegra GPU or CPU GPU combo in the Nintendo Switch. I should point out that is still the Nintendo Switch. It still has Nvidia product in it. So why did we betray, in inverted commas, AMD? I wanted to play at 1440p, if we're honest. I wanted to play, 1440p, maybe do a bit of 4K, although 4K is, I would say, out of reach for the 1070. It is doable, but you're going to have to settle for 30 FPS, unfortunately, in most games, unless it's like SWTOR or World of Warcraft or something like that. Then, you're going to struggle with that. Or even older generation games. You could play like, last gen games at 4K 60 on a 1070. So why did we betray our beloved R9 390X? Why do we now hate AMD? Because of course if you buy an Nvidia product, fanboy logic, you then hate AMD. You can't like two things. I still like that graphics card. I maintain that the 390X is a good card. It's a really good graphics card. Right now you could pick one up second hand for around £200 and it'll outperform an RX 480. It's a similar price to an RX 480. You have to buy it used, though. He's not selling brand new, and it'll outperform it. It'll get close to the GTX 1060 in some cases as well, for cheaper money. So it's pretty decent, I would say. I should point out that the footage that you are watching was recorded on the 390X before I bought the GTX 1060. So I suppose the question to ask is, was it necessary to upgrade from an R9 390X to a GTX 1070? And the answer is no, it wasn't. It wasn't. So we need to dispel this myth that you have to upgrade your GPU every single year and on PC gaming. No. But I did it. Why did you do it then? Well, I wanted to. I can do it, and I wanted to do it. I wanted to do 1440p. Okay, I wanted to have a go at that. I bought a 1440p monitor a while back and was never really able to do anything with it. So, it's nice to, get a bit of 1440p gaming out. This is 1080p footage that you're looking at. And, it's nice to have a little, just in case you wonder, why isn't this 1440p? You can see the AMD Relive recording timer. It was recorded. It's just old footage, right? Don't get too hung up on the footage. And yes, it's Black Ops 3, which is kind of fun, actually, if you want to know. I like it, actually. It's alright. It's alright. The campaign seems okay. That's the other thing. You either love Call of Duty or you hate it. I hate these people, and I hate fanboys, to be honest. The idea of you own an AMD product, you must be loyal to that corporation. You must be loyal to AMD. You must be loyal to them. You should have waited for Vega. You should have waited for Ryzen last year when you bought that Skylake CPU. Why didn't you wait for Ryzen? It's like, well, to my argument is, when you buy a PC part, someone always says, "Oh, wait for this, wait for that." You can wait forever. Is the time, right? This is what I do. What was my advice to you? If you're buying a PC part or you're going to build a PC, you're going to upgrade or whatever, and you're going to wait for this, wait for that, and I'd say set yourself a time and say, right, I'm going to upgrade on this day. I'm going to buy the best components then. And obviously, if like Ryzen's coming out in next week, then you maybe want to say, all right, I'll just wait a week for Ryzen. But if Ryzen doesn't have a release date, then, you could be waiting another 6 months. You could be waiting another year. I'd rather build a PC now. Like, I'd have rather built a Skylake system then, especially before Brexit and the pound took a fucking dive and prices shot up. I mean, an i5 6600K, I bought in June of 2016, just before we voted to leave the European Union. Cost me £195. Now, if you want that same CPU, bear in mind you can buy the i5 7600K, the KB Lake one is out. If you want to buy, you can still buy the 6600K, but if you want to buy a 6600K, it's going to cost you about £230 to £240. Yeah, I mean, that was the pound has suffered against the dollar massively when we voted to leave the European Union. So a lot of tech prices have shot up. Certainly prices of CPUs have shot up. Hopefully, that's why you're kind of hoping that Ryzen coming out is a good thing. And I own an Intel CPU, and I have owned AMD CPUs in the past, and I've owned both. I buy whatever the best is at the time. Like, I don't have any brand loyalty. People say, oh, wait for Vega. It's like, when's Vega come? When is it coming out? No, where is it? Can I buy it today? Oh, it's not available today. Okay, I'm going to buy a 1070. Okay, that's the logic I use. Okay, I've set my budget. It's there. I can buy it now. I can play games now. You could wait 6 months, wait a year, but I'm playing my games now. And yeah, when it comes out, you might get better performance. But I'm playing Rise of the Tomb Raider. I'm playing Resident Evil 7 at 1440p right now. You know, I'm playing those games 1440p, 60 FPS. I can play Black Ops 3 at 1440p and 60 FPS if you want to know. Yes, I can. Although the footage you're looking at, again, we've explained. You need to explain that for people because some people don't listen to you. You have to explain it several times over, I find, anyway. But yeah, I have that choice to buy it now. I mean, obviously, there's certain times of year that's better to buy components than others. Like, for example, if you're waiting to for Black Friday, there's no point in waiting for Black Friday, I think, in June or something like that. You know, Black Friday's in November. You know, I'd buy then, and always keep your eye out for sale prices and whatnot. Like, I waited to the Asus Strix model had came down to a reasonable price. I think it was I can't remember. It was 415 it went down to. It was 450 at one point, and it dropped down to 415. So I thought, I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy that one. The other one I was looking at was the Gigabyte G1 gaming one, which was actually under £400. I thought about that, but then I was paying an extra £14 and I got Ghost Recon or Dishonored. I decided to go for Ghost Recon for free with the Asus one. Wasn't with the Gigabyte one for some reason. The other option was the EVGA for the Win edition. That was around the same price. Around that price I was looking, I had a reasonable choice of GPU for that. I had a choice of... I took the Asus one, because it looked badass. You know, that's important. Had a really high boost clock as well. But yeah, I mean, you can see where my priorities lie. It looked good. The RGB lighting or higher boost clock. RGB lighting takes priority because it needs to look badass. Right? It has my case has a window, and I don't even see my case to be honest. But I want it to look badass. RGB lighting again is worth an extra 10 FPS. It is. It's true. Well, it depends on the color. Depends on how much RAM you have downloaded at the time, and you know the color. Blue RGB lighting makes the graphics card run cooler. True. Undisputed, alternative fact, that is, I've just presented you with. Thank you. You are welcome. Let's move on, shall we? Right, so why did we buy it over the Nintendo Switch is the initial title of this video, or I might change the title now to... I might change it to I'm a betrayer and... What was I again? I betrayed AMD... And I'm not a worthy Nintendo. I never claimed to be a fanboy. I forgot what I said. I should have brought the comment up there where it said we betrayed something, and we were a sellout, and we deserve hatred and to be reviled. We're worse than Hitler, basically. I mean, he only murdered, you know, millions of people. You know, I didn't buy a Nintendo Switch, so I am worse than Hitler. And I got one more ball than him as well. So, Jesus, I'm really that bad. Right, so why did we buy it? The problem with the Switch was there just wasn't enough games for it as well. The GTX 1070, I've got, you know, what have I got? 233 games in my Steam library that will all run on that GTX 1070. On the Nintendo Switch, I would have had Breath of the Wild. And that was the only game I wanted. Sure, I might buy a Nintendo Switch at some point, you know, when it gets more games. I did buy Breath of the Wild. I did buy Breath of the Wild today. It's out. I'm recording this as Breath of the Wild comes out. I did buy it. I bought it for Wii U. Again, you've got the option to buy it on Wii U. I mean, even the game that I wanted wasn't even exclusive to Nintendo Switch, as it was available on the Wii U. And the other thing about having a GTX 1070 is you could always rip it to the hard drive and run it on the Wii U emulator. Cemu is an excellent emulator, and I could probably run it at 4K. I think it was 1.7 that came out, allowed you to scale the resolutions of games. So you could run Wii U games at 1080p, you could run them at 1440p, you could run them at 4K. So we could even run Breath of the Wild at 4K. That Tegra with its 256 CUDA cores, we could run it on our GTX 1070 with its 1920 CUDA cores. Why didn't they make the 1080 have 1920 CUDA cores? There was a ready-made joke right there. Even just call the 1070 to 1080 and have it have 1920 CUDA cores, and then we could have made a joke. Oh, we were so close to satire, Nvidia. So close there. We were so close to that joke coming off. Anyway, so we could play at 4K at least. So as the Switch only runs 900p in docked mode and 720p in portable mode. The Wii U version runs at 720p, regardless. Regardless, it only has one state. The Wii. If you run it on the screen, I guess it'll render it at 720p and then downscale it to 480 on the gamepad, I guess, because the gamepad is only 480p. But I'm guessing it'll render it at the higher resolution and then just super sample it or downsample it, whatever, to 480p. But anyway, we've ranted on for a while now about our Switch. That was why I decided. I think £300 for one game is excessive. Whereas a graphics card that can play multiple games for a bit more money. I mean, people say, oh, but the Switch only costs £279 for a Switch. It was like, what, £45 for Zelda? And you'd had to buy the Pro Controller, which was 65 quid. You see, my GTX 1070 now looks like a bargain compared to that. We had to buy the Pro Controller. I probably would have bought, but 65 quid for a controller? Jesus, Nintendo. I think Nintendo, if it was a lower price, if it was sort of under 250, I'd have maybe bought it. I'd have maybe considered it and said, you know what, it's only one game, but it's a low price. I might pick it up. Breath of the Wild does seem like a good game. I haven't actually played it. I did have to dust off my Wii U. I was like Indiana Jones, cleaning the screen. I had to get a paintbrush. I used a paintbrush because I used that to clean out the PC and clean out the screen in order to get that. I was like that and blow the dust off of it. Luckily, it's got a mic that you can blow into for Mario 3D World. Yeah, that's a control input method. There you go. You can blow flowers and things down. You can blow things. You can blow things on your Wii U. There you go. Probably didn't sell more. You can't blow things on the Wii U. But yeah, I had to dust it off and charge up the Pro Controller and charge. Well, they're both charging as I record this at the moment. So yeah, I think I don't regret my decision not to buy a Nintendo Switch. Ultimately, I've saw the reviews and it looks good. I mean, it's a good system. Don't get me wrong. I liked it. I like the idea of it. I think the idea of a portable console hybrid is an interesting one, but I think the price is just too high for me to jump on board. The price and the software just isn't there. I had no interest in things like 1-2 Switch, and I can run Mario Kart 8 at 4K, so I'm not going to buy Mario Kart 8. Yeah, it does run at 4K. I have used Cemu. I might do a video on Cemu because I love that emulator. It's awesome, the progress that it's made. I mean, I think this a few months ago you could barely run games on it. And now it's sort of scaling games up to 4K and doing really well at those games. You know, I can play games like Xenoblade Chronicles X. I could play Mario Kart 8, I could play Super Mario 3D World, Bayonetta 2 still has a few issues, but it's getting there. It seems to improve massively with every iteration. Those guys at Semu, they're doing a really good job. I might give them some money on Patreon, because unlike other e-beggars, they are doing, they're doing good work there, and they should be rewarded for the good work. And then get access to the Patreon builds, and considering that as well, certainly. So, anyway, that is all for this video, so thank you for joining me, and we'll see you again soon, and goodbye.